Hello everybody and welcome to my Mommy Tube channel. I hope you all are doing well. I just wanted to get right in and start telling you guys about my 3-year-old. She just turned 3. Alexis has started preschool. And I was really nervous at first with having her. She's never been away from me more than a few hours with her daddy or a babysitter or something. So I didn't know how she would take to it. But each day, leading up to when she would start preschool, we talked about it. She'd be going to preschool because she's a big girl now. And at first she was like, "No, I don't want to leave you, Mommy." But all of a sudden, like every day, we would talk about it and discuss the fact that she would get a chance to learn a lot and play with friends. And then Mommy would come and pick her back up. You always want to reassure them that you're going to be there, to pick them back up. You're never going to just leave them and they're going to be alone or something. So we had several weeks to discuss that because I looked at several wonderful preschools in the area and I decided on a certain one, and she absolutely loves it. And I'm so happy and I feel so blessed that her teacher says that she makes friends really easily, and she's very verbal. I've been told by many people she's one of the most verbal. At the time, she was 2, but she just turned 3. 3-year-olds that they've seen, and this is coming from educators and things like that. So I'm very proud of that. So she's kind of like the interpreter for her class. Other moms will say, "Alexis told me that, they did such and such today," or something. But so it's really sweet, and it's like a weight off for her to be enjoying school, and I'm just very pleased that she loves it. The teachers are wonderful. They're very engaging, hands-on. The class sizes are very small, so that there's like a 2 to 3 teachers to like 12 students per class. So that's absolutely wonderful. I couldn't ask for any better than that. So it's just so sweet how she comes home with these crafts and artwork, and we put them on the refrigerator or hang them on the walls, and you could just see her face light up and her self-esteem build, and I'm very happy she's taken to that well. So she's doing wonderfully, and she just turned 3, and we had a big party, and it was just, she loved it. Gabriella is now 20 months old, and she is just wide open. She knows probably 100 words. They just all haven't come together yet. So she's still at the point where she's yelling and screaming those high octave soprano notes when she wants something. So I'm having to read her body language for certain things because she's not, that's when they're on the verge of speaking, when they are screaming and they feel like they can't express themselves, but they know what they want to say. They just can't, get it out there. So that is how she's doing, and she's just the same wonderful light as she always is. She's a very happy baby, happy child. She's just content playing with all of her toys, and so that's a blessing. Also, what I was going to say, one thing we've been having to work on is finding new babysitters. And I actually don't like to call a babysitter because that term is just throughout, I don't know, it's just known as like kind of coming over and not being so hands-on with the kid. So I like to call it, a part-time nanny, because for my children, they are going to have to be, changing diapers, feeding, going up and down the stairs, and you have to be very active for a 1.5 and 3-year-old. I mean, they keep you on your toes. They're both taking naps right now, so that's, haven't got the hang of doing videos with them in the room just yet. But, so we have went through the process of interviewing people and also, going to some of the online sites for babysitters. But I never will hire a babysitter and just have them show up on the day they're supposed to babysit because, I wouldn't like it if someone left me for hours with somebody I didn't know, somebody I didn't really want to know. So what I do is I've found that I can read their resume and their profile and have their background checks and everything. And when you meet them in person, sometimes you can just tell right off the bat if your kids and the person's going to hit it off or not. I explain it like, who, when people come into your home and we have a dog, automatically people that love animals. They're like, oh, and I'm sitting there just being, trying to get my animals off the people. But you just know those kind of people. Same with babysitters. Excuse me, part-time nannies. I even have trouble with it because it really is, it's the truth. Part-time nanny is a better way of saying it for younger kids anyway. But you can tell when they come in your home to meet your children. Most of the time, if they're going to be, someone that we use, and I use very few people, but they gravitate to my children. I mean, they're over here listening to me and everything that we're talking about, but they're just so consumed in what the children are doing. And I really, really, really appreciate that. And the same with a dog, knowing when people love them or not. They'll, an animal will just come and, bring them a toy. Same with children. I'm not trying to compare children to animals, but there are similarities in just knowing that energy that a person has. So I find that, ask the babysitter to come by if it's even just 30 minutes out of their day. If they can stop by. Sometimes I will even pay, I'll pay them to come by because a lot of people don't want to think of it as, well, I'm going to be going over there and, wasting my time, and this isn't like a higher gig job type thing. So, and that really helps you get a sense of how they are with your children and how, how everything's going to work out. And many times you look, I had people with backgrounds in, nursing and the medical field, and you think, wow, they're going to be super nurturing for my child, and they're not. And then like we've had people, a girl that was an engineering major, and you think, she wouldn't be into children, and she was absolutely amazing with them. So, I don't believe in hiring anyone that's going to plop them in front of a TV. I just don't. It depends on the circumstances, of course, but I want to have someone with my children that love engaging. Of course, taking care of their needs is first and foremost. Having them a clean diaper, feeding them properly, and making sure for their well-being. But almost secondly to that is definitely interacting and playing with them. When I come home, my child won't even, they'll be happy to see me, but they'll be sad to see the babysitter go. And that hasn't happened very many times, but and a babysitter is someone who you kind of just hire without, if I was going to be staying in the home, I would hire someone that I could go check on, and but a part-time nanny is really a part of your family, and you want them to feel just as welcome as a part of your family. They have to eat, they're taking care of your prized possession. So I'm not just going to look up, I'm going to find this girl. I don't care. My husband and I have missed quite a few very important events in our life because we didn't have a babysitter. We like to have 3 babysitters, like one for date night, one for daytime, one, then one just backup babysitter. And so, and then there's always family members, but sometimes all the stars don't align, and I just refuse to hire someone that looks good on paper, because as we know, anybody they can look great on paper, or they can look okay on paper or bad on paper, who knows. But thing with the internet is you can, make yourself out to be anything you want. And that's why it's good to meet someone face to face. Okay. My third thing I was going to say is Alexis, my 3-year-old, has really gotten into her iPad. And it had taken her a little longer from some of the kids that I know that I've seen into their iPads and things. And I want her to know that the iPad right now is for learning, and I want to limit her time with it. So, for example, on school nights or preschool nights, we don't let her use the iPad and limit that time. But for parents out there that don't know, there's so many wonderful, wonderful apps on the iPad for creating. So it's just like if your child was painting a picture, you wouldn't say, oh, you have to stop that. So the same with the iPad. I want, there's so many apps. One is there's some kind of cooking app where you can literally mix, crack eggs and pour in, and it teaches them how to cook. And then at the end, they can decorate the cupcakes or the cookies or the cake. It's very creative. And of course, there's always the apps that help them learn their ABCs that are wonderful. One that surprised me was, Alexis really loves it. It's a musical app, and it teaches your child how to put the correct key note on the correct key of the piano. So if it has A, and it's color coded, and she knew, I don't know how, but she knew how to put a lot of the keys in the right areas, and then after you play it, it plays the notes properly. And so things like that, she can be on there unlimited for. But, and I can say that some TV, they do learn things. They do learn things, especially when they're 24 months to 2 years, the 24 months to 3 years. They, I can just see that they're learning shapes and circles and all these kinds of things. But we only try to watch TV, during breakfast hours during the morning. I don't, I have to be at home and run the household and engage. So it's very important that I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I never let my child watch TV, because that just wouldn't be realistic. I mean, I watch TV. If I didn't watch TV, then I wouldn't let them watch TV. I just don't believe in being a hypocrite to your children. I mean, of course, they're only going to watch Channel 4 and educational programs. I think Dora the Explorer, it gets on my nerves, but it's educational. They learn Spanish. It engages a side of the brain that normally they wouldn't use, and that's a foreign language. And I want them to be very, versatile in learning that. So I open them to that. They can play with the iPad with music all they want. I just don't want them to be just watching a show, vegging out, and I feel like their brain isn't really learning anything after a while. So, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, and people who go to work have different challenges. But I have things going on all day in the home. My child doesn't go away at a daycare facility or somewhere that someone else is watching them. So I have to entertain my child all day, and I love it. I love every second. But, different moms have different ways of doing things, and I think we as mothers should support each other in that, and not, oh, well, she was doing this and she was doing that. I think we're all, trying to get by the best we can. I'm here to give my pointers. I want to hear you share your pointers. So I don't want you to ever think I'm coming through with trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what works for me. And I think I went over a lot of things today. Recently, I've been cleaning out their playroom. They've had so many toys in there that I just felt like things were piling up. So I was teaching them how to give things away to people that are less fortunate than us. So I found a children's center and a children's hospital, that can take our toys. And I'm trying to teach Alexis that yes, it's okay to have things and play with things, but it almost gives you more happiness to give those to someone who needs them more. And when we're blessed, that's how we're supposed to help the less fortunate, is through giving. And so I really want to teach, be a role model for my children. That's the only thing that I really do want other moms to know is your kids see everything you're doing, and they're wanting to be just like you because you're their biggest role model. That's who they want to impress, so they're going to be like you. And so I just think it's important to just simple things like I don't even look at my phone while I'm driving because I never want them to ever say, well, it's, when they get their license one day to who knows what kind of gadgets they'll be then. But, I never want them to be like, well, Mama, you text when you drive or you look down when you drive. And, it's just things like that I worry about because those little eyes are on you 24/7. And they'll be like you whether you want them to be or not. They'll have certain qualities that you may love in yourself, and they may have the qualities that you don't like so much in yourself. But overall, if we try to do our best and always know that we're trying to make them a better person. I know personally having children has made me a better person. So because I know I have so much to live for now. And so it's just wonderful being a mom, and I appreciate you all watching, and hope you have a blessed day, and see you soon. Take care.